Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to repair the P0121 on your Chevrolet Silverado, Tahoe, Suburban, or your GMC, Sierra and Yukon. At the end of this video I said that this vehicle could go into a high idle state. This vehicle did. As soon as I cranked it, it went up to 2,500 RPMs. If you don't have a scan tool that will relearn the idle on these vehicles, I recommend not doing it. You can try it, you can take that chance, but if you don't have the scan tool that will go into this vehicle, go to the idle learn reset, or even reprogram the engine control module, I really recommend not doing this and leaving it to a professional. First, let's go ahead and remove this cover. The way you remove the cover is just lifting it up gently. Most of the vehicles you work on is going to have a factory air inlet, but on this vehicle it has a K&N that somebody added. We still have to take it loose. It still uses 8mm hose clamps. So let's disconnect the 8mm hose clamp. Like I said, on yours it'll be the same way. I recommend also loosening the one on this side so you can take the whole thing out of your way. Once you have your air inlet out of the way, you can, without removing the throttle body, stick something in here and clean the throttle body out using some throttle body cleaner. But in this video, I'm going to go ahead and remove the throttle body just so I can clean it a little bit better. You have two 10mm nuts on the top and two 10mm bolts on the bottom. But before we do that, let's go ahead and disconnect our wiring harness to the throttle body. Go ahead and slide the retainer back, push down the middle, slide it out. Once we have that done, let's go ahead and remove these nuts on the top. And the two bolts on the bottom. Once that's done, let's go ahead and slide it off. The P0121 is actually a code for when the throttle body, one of the position sensors in the throttle body isn't working right. What happens is when carbon builds up in the throttle body with high mileage vehicles, the ECM and the PCM will try to compensate for the increase of the throttle plate angle, causing this problem. And if enough carbon builds up inside it, you'll have an idle surge, you can have check engine light, you can have multiple problems. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and clean this throttle body out. What I'm going to use to do this with is I have some throttle plate cleaner. The label came off the bottle, but it's still just throttle plate cleaner. Brake cleaner will work, pretty much any kind of carburetor cleaner, anything that'll clean carbon out, and a brush and a rag. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm not spraying it directly this way. If you spray it this way, it could go into the electrical part of this and cause problems. So what we want to do is we want to open our throttle plate, keep this side high, spray a little bit in there, take our brush, brush as much of it out as we can. Get the best cleaning that we can with it. Take our rag and clean it out. Do this several times until you get as much of the carbon out as you can. Once you have the throttle body clean, I recommend replacing this gasket. I've already installed the new gasket. I'm going to go ahead and slide my throttle body on. Once the throttle body's on, let's go ahead and start the top two nuts. And the bottom two bolts. All right, let's go ahead and torque it down. The torque spec for the throttle body is 89 inch-pounds. Once the throttle body's torqued down to the spec, let's go ahead and plug it in, set our retainer, and reinstall the air inlet. Once you have the air inlet installed, double check, make sure everything's plugged in, everything looks good, make sure your mass airflow sensor is plugged in, and reinstall the cover. Make sure when you're reinstalling the cover, the hoses go on top of this piece right here. If not, you'll have a vibration in the dash if they're underneath of it. And you're done. One thing I have heard is after you've done this throttle body clean, I have heard that some vehicles, the idle will go up. If this happens, you will have to do an idle relearn procedure. Sometimes even the idle relearn procedure doesn't work and you have to carry it to a dealer and have them reprogram the engine control module. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And as always, if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Click that subscribe button. Help me help you. Go ahead and give the video a thumbs up or click one of these other videos wherever they are. Thanks again for watching.